Hello my friends, here I am for a couple of days. Today I'm going to try to do a couple of turnings, and the first one is a warm-up. It's going to be a very straightforward box, and the next one will be a rectangle flat edge in the book, and I'm going to be focusing that particular turning mostly on keeping it true. I get lots of questions on how do I maintain wall thickness even whenever I'm doing something like a square platter, a square bowl, that sort of stuff. So I will try to focus between the two cameras on front and back on what I'm looking for, and that will be the focus of the next video. But for now, I want to warm up a little bit with just this very right now. Let's get to the lathe and start turning this turning. I'm going to be starting up with my Harbor Freight modified edge roughing gouge. I'm gonna go in here really quick and screw this up into a shape over the top, make a tenon and flip it over and hollow it out. I believe this piece of wood might be Eucalyptus. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So let's get started. Lathe is a little wobbly right now. Things are a little wobbly, but that's going 760 RPM. Favorite tool for my tenon is my diamond cutting tool. It's a pointy tool, whatever you want to call it. Speeding it up to 1000 RPM. So this will end up with some of these voids going through, but I'm going to make this a little hollow vessel in here. Okay, I wasn't looking forward to this, but that's sometimes the beauty of the wood, is these little imperfections. So I'm gonna turn it around anyway and see what develops out of this. And I'm going to continue with this roughing gouge and shape the majority of this. I'm going to put a little CA on here because there's a lot of decay going through here. And this was the pit, so before I lose it, I want to seal it. And I don't want these holes going through. So sealing it up with sawdust and CA glue. Including this bottom. And on this bottom, what's going to happen is it's going to end up being red, and I'm going to select slightly larger sawdust to embed in there and give it a little bit of character, grain, texture, and not be camouflaged. Lob it in there. It will show up at the end, and that's what I want. I don't want it to be hidden. I don't want it to be something that shows up like you're trying to hide a mistake. You're trying to enhance a natural happening with the wood. I don't know if you want to consider bug activity as natural, but I would consider it to be so. So, Mother Nature and its little critters coming in and having their little game on what they want to do. Really push in the sawdust, and once it's pushed in, dab it with CA, and that sawdust will definitely be part of the wood, and it will be as much character as the whole piece in itself. So pretty much filling in all these little holes. If something shows up at the end, I will do this one more time on the final phases. Let this dry up for 5 minutes or so. This is thin CA glue starter. I buy this in a 16-ounce bottles, which is a little bit more economical. But if you don't want to splurge, spend that much in one shot, my secondary CA that I buy is this stick fast, which I kind of like it, and a lot of times I do this one for convenience. 4.5 ounce, and it's about $14, $15 on Amazon. And you can go directly to their website as well and pick this up. So I either use stick fast or the stop on, depends on what I buy or what I'm in the mood to buy on the time. I actually rather use the 4 ounce. It makes it a little easier. I don't know if you actually get the full 16 ounces by the time you fill these up 4 times. So, be back in a couple of minutes. That looks good. All the fibers are nice and tight. Going through here, that looks good. I gotta take a little bit more here to get to the bottom of this area that had those big holes. Going to do a little bit of sanding on the outside before I start hollowing it up on the inside. Recently, I had a question on where do I get my sanding discs. I buy my sanding discs from 2sand.com. They're pretty good, fairly reasonable. You get these packs of 25 discs, and I believe they're around $6 per pack. I haven't bought them in a while because I usually buy them in bulk. But anyway, 2sand.com, and generally what I buy is 80 to 400 grit. They don't come mixed. You buy one packet of whatever you need, or several packets of whatever grit you need, not package deals that you're going to get sandpaper that you will never use. I buy more of the 80 grit than I buy of the finer grits, because when you're using the heavy grit, you generally being a little bit more aggressive with it. and so you will eat them up a little bit quicker than you do the finer grits. And the holders, I buy them from him as well, but I do because they do get beat up. You get this, okay? You can't help it. You get catches and you're gonna tear it up. Well, I came up with an easy fix by keeping the housing, the plastic piece and the metal shaft, peeling it off at this point and sticking some furniture pads. You buy a pack of 9 or a pack of 12 for $2, and it's got a fairly rigid sponge, so the sponge is pretty stiff. It could be a little softer, and attach a piece of Velcro to it, and you got a replacement pad that's there for a long time. When it gets beat up again, separate it back over here to the plastic, and you can go all over again. And you can shape this on the lathe if you want. Put it on your chuck, take your skew, and just cut it up from the outside or into a nice angle, and it will give you a nice replacement pad. Steel wool or Scotch-Brite. It's whatever I got in hand. I use this quite a bit. And when you're using this, just speed up the lathe. 2,000 RPM, and you're burnishing the piece. A little bit of Yorkshire grits to this piece. And this should be a nice finish on this. Yorkshire grit, as soon as you apply it, you get the natural colors of the wood coming through. So it will really give you a peek at what the piece is going to look like at the end. I love this stuff. I'm not one to endorse too much on anything, whether if I have it or don't have it. But this is the stuff that I really do swear by. If you don't have this, if you're not using the sanding sealer, you're going to be struggling given a good finish. Now, you can do it with a sanding sealer instead of this, if you don't want to splurge. And I start rubbing it at about 1,000 RPMs. And just like my finish, I start feeling heat from the piece. Well, the holes are opened up a little bit, and I don't think I mind that. I'm going to leave them the way they are. But I don't have those big cavities in here, but I have showing that it had activity at some time. And my method of finishing 99% of the time. Occasionally I will do a paste wax. Occasionally I will do a lacquer spray. Even though I pretty much do the lacquer, it's the pieces that I can't possibly buff most of the time. But it's the OB Shine Juice. While talking on the OB Shine Juice, I want to give a shout out to a person that really is one of the most deserving shout outs that I can possibly give. Without this man YouTube channel, a lot of people would not be where they are in turning, including me. He offers an abundance of knowledge to anybody that wants to learn techniques and easy to do projects, and even if I must say some cheats even on for you, and that is Captain Eddie Caslin. Yeah, and he sells carbide cutters and bars and that sort of stuff. And from what I haven't bought from him, but from what I understand, he's very reasonable. So, if you're looking for some inspiration and how to do a lot of things, for instance, I got my sharpening jig. I modified it, but you know, I saw him doing it. This OB Shine Juice, he was the first one I saw do. And he gives you a lot of different finish options that you can see. He goes in intensive detail on how to do CA finishes. I have not mastered that, so I'm not going to tell you how to do it. But if you want to learn how to do CA finishes, watch. That's his signature piece. So don't forget, go to eddiecaslin.com and you'll be amazed on what wealth of information he offers. I'm sure he doesn't need my shout out. He's much more known, better known than I am. But for those of you who don't know of him, go check him out. Oh yeah, I want to make a point on Eddie Caslin. If you go to his channel and you're watching his latest videos, the information that he's given you is not the full extent. The man nearly died. I think he was dead a couple of times, a couple of years ago. So you know, he does explain that he's still suffering some things that he's not up to par, but follow up and go to his older videos for the techniques that you're looking for on how to finish pieces, the different finishes, cheats, how to make tools. Even though he sells cutters, he does go, I think, how to make bars if you need to. So check him out. Now that's a very respectable finish. The little pits on it show that the wood was less than perfect, and I'm fine with that. The whole finish, I think, looks really good. It's time to go in here and hollow it out. I'm going to make the finial out of a little piece of banyan that I have. Spalted banyan. That should complement that piece really nice. box, the fillers that were done with the wood shavings look pretty good. Oops. But yes, pretty good. But the opening still came through the bottom. Well, at this point, I'm not going to fill it up. I'm going to leave it the way it is. It will show that there was deterioration on this piece. Some of the holes are still there, even though they were filled with CA and sawdust. So that's the areas that didn't penetrate quite deep enough. The inside is pretty nice. Thickness on these, because you come up to a point, and I don't have any tool that can come up pointy like that, but, so it's a gradual round over on the inside. So at this thickest point is about 3/8, and the rest of it is about 1/4 inch. Fairly thin all the way down to the bottom. The finial, quick finial out of a piece of banyan, and it sits in there nicely. No pop on this one, just an easy put in, take off.